14th anniversary of the opening of the illegal, immoral prison at Guantanamo. This is a prison where almost 800 men from all over the Middle East have been tortured. It's carried out indefinite detention, which means people have been thrown into this prison with no charges, no trials, no due process. This is completely an insult to humanity. And we're here to say this prison, Guantanamo, should be shut down today. We say this is illegitimate, it's immoral. Shut down Guantanamo now.
Now, one of the big obstacles to when he tried to do that was, opening up a prison in the U.S. and that was like big up in arms. Nobody wants a prison with so-called terrorists.
Well, we think the reason that Guantanamo was opened in the first place was a very political message to the world from the then president, George Bush's regime. And the message was, America can do anything it wants to anybody in the world. Anything that's against the law, the United States can and will do to its enemies, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And that is the message of Guantanamo. The law is very clear. Under the law that exists now, Obama could use his executive privilege and ride over Congress and anyone else and shut down the prison. It's an excuse, and this is an immoral, illegal prison, and Obama is keeping it open.
The prison at Guantanamo is an illegal, immoral insult to humanity. And it is the responsibility of the United States to shut this prison down. Torture is a war crime. Torture is a crime against humanity. Torture is never allowed under the law, under any circumstance. And your government has been torturing people around the world ever since 9/11 because they used safety as an excuse. First of all, torture keeps no one safe. Torture is a crime. Crimes are crimes no matter who commits them. Guantanamo was opened under Bush. It has continued under Obama. It can be shut down today. And we refuse to be complicit. American lives are not more important than other people's lives. We want to hear what they have to say. We want to hear people's questions. And we want to know how they can get involved in this movement to shut down torture. No more Guantanamo!
No more Guantanamo!
Shut down Guantanamo!
Shut down Guantanamo!
No more Guantanamo!
Shut
Shut down Guantanamo!
Shut down Guantanamo!
No more Guantanamo!
No more Guantanamo!
Shut down Guantanamo!
Shut down Guantanamo!
No more Guantanamo!
No more Guantanamo!
Obama's been promising closing that since his first electoral campaign, right? Back in 2000, whatever, 8, and it's still not closed.
9 men were murdered under torture at Guantanamo and carried out in coffins.
That's right.
The men who finally are released from Guantanamo are finally able to speak about what they suffered and witnessed and endured at the place that's called Gitmo. Our government knows very well that these are all crimes, and they are specifically crimes against United States law. No one has yet been charged, arrested, and brought to trial for those crimes, and instead, the man responsible, Bush, Cheney, Obama, and on down the line, including UC Berkeley law professor John Yoo, none of them have had to face the consequences that should follow from their illegal actions.
I want to read a statement by Michael Ratner, the attorney who represents represented Guantanamo detainees before the U.S. Supreme Court. He's emeritus of the Center for Constitutional Rights. Michael Ratner says, despite the rhetoric saying he would close Guantanamo as almost the first act of his presidency, President Obama has had clay feet from the beginning. He has refused to take actions to actually close the prison. Let's remember, 7 of the 14 years that these men have languished in Guantanamo have been under Obama. Don't let President Obama blame others. A reluctant Pentagon is no excuse. Obama is commander-in-chief. The fault is not in the stars, but with him. 1 day of unlawful detention is an outrage. 14 years is an abomination. If Obama is to close the prison before he leaves office, he must move to do so now.
Some information on the protest.
14 years of torture is illegal, immoral, and wrong. Charge them or release them now. No more Guantanamos anywhere. Who are America's torture victims? 779 have been detained at Guantanamo these past 14 years. 104 remain there behind bars today. 9 were murdered under torture. The others have been released. What is torture? Torture is illegal. No more Guantanamos. No more illegal, immoral torture in our name. We who live inside the American torture state say, we refuse. No more Guantanamo. No more illegal, immoral torture in our name.
I just think it's terrible that they're still allowing the torture going on. I mean, it should have been closed a long time ago. But they should close this place. It was made outside of the vicinity of the jurisdiction of the United States so they could deliberately get away with torture.
What we have here is an intolerable situation, and the source, and the roots, and the cause, and the responsibility for what is done to black people, the police murder, the mass incarceration, the destruction of whole communities, the destruction of people's souls. What is done to black people in this country is done by the same system, in my opinion, as is the crime of Guantanamo and torture and the drone bombings and all the rest of it.
We call on the Attorney General to open a criminal investigation based on the information contained in the 6,000-page study on CIA detention and interrogation tactics produced by the Senate Intelligence Committee.
To know that 103 men are still behind bars at Guantanamo. The torture continues. People are on hunger strike. People have not seen the light of day for 14 years. This is a prison that's been open under 2 American presidents, and we are going on a 3rd. And the people of the world are watching, and we are in the streets of Washington, D.C. today, Chicago, San Francisco. We are in the streets in Mexico City, in Uruguay, and we are saying, shut down Guantanamo now.